Haha, Amelia. Most students make the same English mistake again and again.
Yes, and they don't even realize it.
Exactly. Today, we're going to fix that.
Oh, hello everyone. You're listening to Learning English Studio. I'm Amelia.
And I'm James.
If you want to improve your English step by step, make sure you subscribe and like this episode.
And share it with a friend who struggles with English.
Okay, James, let's break it down. So, what's this common mistake you mentioned that students make when talking about their friends?
Well, it's all about how they describe their friends and the activities they do together. Many students will say things like, I and my friend went to the movies, or me and my friend like to play tennis. They forget to put the other person first and use the correct pronoun.
Oh, that's such a good point. I hear that all the time. It should be, my friend and I went to the movies, and my friend and I like to play tennis. It's such a common mistake, but so important for sounding polite and educated in English.
Exactly. So the topic today is how to talk about your friends in English. And we're going to cover not just correct grammar, but all the vocabulary and expressions you need to have natural conversations about your friendships.
I love that. Friends are such an important part of our lives, and being able to talk about them in English is such a fundamental skill. Let's start with the basics. What are some essential words for talking about friends?
Good question. The most basic word is, of course, friend. But we also have best friend for your closest friend, close friend for someone you're very close to, good friend for someone you like and trust, and old friend for someone you've known for a long time.
Those are perfect. And we also have words like classmate, someone in your class, roommate, someone you share a room or home with, teammate, someone on your sports team, and workmate or colleague, someone you work with.
Exactly. And there are more informal words like buddy, especially common in American English, mate, especially common in British English, pal, or chum.
That's so true. And I think it's helpful to know that we often use possessive adjectives when talking about friends, like my friend, his best friend, their classmates, etc.
Absolutely. And we can use adjectives to describe our friends like kind, funny, smart, loyal, supportive, outgoing, shy, etc.
Those are perfect. Let's practice with some examples. James, can you tell us about one of your friends using some of these words?
Sure. I have a best friend named Tom. We've known each other since we were children. He is very funny and always makes me laugh. He's also very loyal. I can always count on him. We both like sports, so we often play tennis on weekends.
That's a great description. You used excellent vocabulary. Best friend, known each other since we were children, funny, makes me laugh, loyal, count on him, like sports, play tennis, and weekends.
Thanks. What about you, Amelia? Can you tell us about one of your friends?
Of course. I have a close friend named Sarah. We met in college. She is very kind and smart. She's a good listener, so I always talk to her when I have problems. We both love shopping, so we often go to the mall together. She has great taste in clothes.
That sounds like a wonderful friendship. You used great vocabulary. Close friend, met, college, kind, smart, good listener, talk to her, problems, love shopping, go to the mall, together, and taste in clothes.
Thank you. I think it's helpful to practice describing friends using these basic words and expressions. It makes your conversation more personal and engaging.
Exactly. Let's think about some common questions you might ask or answer about friends.
Good idea. Besides, tell me about your friends, you could ask, do you have many friends? Who is your best friend? How long have you known your best friend? Or what do you and your friends like to do together?
Those are perfect. And you could ask more specific questions like, where did you meet your friends? What do you like about your friends? Or do you and your friends have similar interests?
Those are great examples, and I think it's helpful to know how to respond when someone tells you about their friends. You could say, that's nice, or it sounds like you have great friends, or how long have you known each other?
Absolutely. Conversation is a two-way street, and showing interest in what others share is just as important as sharing about yourself.
That's so true. Let's think about some common activities that friends do together.
Good idea. We could talk about entertainment activities like go to the movies, watch TV together, listen to music, go to concerts, play video games, etc.
Those are perfect. And we could talk about social activities like go to cafes, have dinner together, go to parties, hang out, chat, gossip.
Exactly. And there are also outdoor activities like play sports, go for a walk, go hiking, have a picnic, go to the beach, etc.
That's so true. And we could also talk about study or work activities like study together, work on projects, help each other with homework, prepare for exams.
Absolutely. Let's practice with some examples. James, what activities do you do with your friends? Well, with my best friend Tom, we often play sports. We especially like to play tennis on Saturday mornings. Sometimes we go to the movies on weekend evenings. With my other friends, we sometimes go to bars or restaurants on Friday nights. We also like to play video games together online.
That sounds like a lot of fun. You used great expressions. Best friend, play sports, especially like tennis, Saturday mornings, sometimes, go to the movies, weekend evenings, other friends, bars, restaurants, Friday nights, play video games, and online.
Thanks. What about you, Amelia? What do you do with your friends?
Well, with my close friend, Sarah, we often go shopping. We love to look for clothes and try them on. We also enjoy going to cafes and chatting for hours. With my other friends from class, we sometimes study together in the library. On weekends, we might have a picnic in the park if the weather's nice.
That sounds lovely. You used great expressions. Close friend, go shopping, love to look for, clothes, try them on, enjoy, going to cafes, chatting for hours, friends from class, study together, library, weekends, picnic, park, and weather.
Thank you. I think it's helpful to practice talking about activities with friends because it's such a common topic of conversation.
Exactly. Let's think about how to describe the length and quality of friendships.
Good idea. We could talk about how long you've known someone using expressions like, I've known him or her since, we've been friends for, we met, we became friends when, etc.
Those are perfect. And we could describe the quality of friendship using words like close, distant, strong, weak, supportive, trusting, loyal, etc.
Those are great. And we could also talk about how often you see or communicate with friends using expressions like every day, once a week, hardly ever, keep in touch, lose touch, etc.
Exactly. Let's practice with some examples. James, can you tell us about how long you've known your best friend? Sure. I've known my best friend Tom since we were 5 years old. We met in kindergarten. We've been friends for over 20 years now. Even though we don't live in the same city anymore, we still talk on the phone every week. We have a very strong friendship.
That's such a long friendship. You used great expressions. Best friend, known, since, years old, met, kindergarten, been friends, over 20 years, even though, live in the same city anymore, we still talk on the phone every week. We have a very strong friendship.
That's such a long friendship. You used great expressions. Best friend, known, since, years old, met, kindergarten, been friends, over 20 years, even though, live in the same city, anymore, talk on the phone, every week, strong friendship.
Thanks. What about you, Amelia? Can you tell us about how long you've known your close friend?
Of course. I've known my close friend Sarah for about 5 years. We met in our first year of college. We became friends when we discovered we had the same literature class. We don't see each other as often as we'd like because we're both busy with work, but we try to meet for coffee at least once a month.
That sounds like a typical adult friendship. You used great expressions. Close friend, known for about 5 years, met, first year, college, became friends, discovered, same literature class, see each other, as often as, busy with work, try to meet, coffee, at least once a month.
Thank you. I think it's helpful to practice talking about the length and quality of friendships because it adds depth to your conversations.
Exactly. Let's think about some common situations or problems in friendships and how to talk about them.
Good idea. We could talk about positive situations like introduce friends to each other, make new friends, reconnect with old friends, support each other through difficult times, etc. Those are perfect. And we could talk about challenging situations like have an argument, disagree about something, drift apart, lose touch, feel jealous, etc.
Those are great. And we could also talk about resolving conflicts using expressions like make up, apologize, forgive, compromise, understand each other's point of view, etc.
Exactly. Let's think about some more advanced vocabulary and expressions for talking about friends.
Good idea. We could use idioms like a friend in need is a friend indeed, a true friend helps you when you need help, friends are the family you choose, friends can be as important as family, or hit it off, to immediately become friends with someone.
Those are great idioms, and we could use expressions like get along well with, have a lot in common, see eye to eye, or agree, click, to immediately like and understand each other, bond over, to develop a close friendship through a shared experience, etc.
Those are perfect. And we could also use phrasal verbs like hang out, catch up with, break up, make up, etc.
That's so true. Let's think about some cultural differences in friendships. That could be really interesting for our listeners.
Oh, definitely. In some cultures, friendships are very deep and long-lasting, while in others they might be more casual and numerous.
Exactly, and the way people make friends can vary greatly between cultures. In some, it might take a long time to develop a close friendship, while in others, people might become friends quickly.
That's so true. And I think it's great for learners to be able to talk about their own cultural friendship practices in English. It's a wonderful way to share and learn about different ways of life.
Absolutely. And it's also interesting to think about how friendships change throughout our lives. The way we make and maintain friends as children is different from how we do it as teenagers, which is different from how we do it as adults.
That's such an interesting point. As children, we often make friends based on proximity and shared activities. As teenagers, we might make friends based on shared interests and values. As adults, it can become harder to make new friends, but those friendships might be deeper and more intentional.
Exactly. And technology has changed how we make and maintain friendships, too. We can now have friends all over the world, and we can stay in touch with old friends more easily through social media.
That's so true. It really makes you appreciate how much friendships have evolved, and I wonder what friendships will be like in the future.
That's a fascinating thought. Maybe virtual reality will change how we interact with friends, or maybe there will be a return to more face-to-face interactions. It's hard to say.
That's so interesting to think about, and it just goes to show that language needs to be flexible and adaptable to describe new types of friendships and ways of connecting.
Exactly. Language is always evolving, just like our friendships. And as language learners, you're part of that evolution, bringing your own experiences and perspectives to the language.
That's such a beautiful way to put it. Every learner adds something unique to the English language, and that's what makes it so rich and diverse.
Absolutely. And talking about friends is such a perfect example of that. Everyone's friendships are different, and everyone's are valid and interesting in their own way.
That's so true. Well, James, we've covered so much ground today, from basic vocabulary to advanced structures, from common mistakes to cultural differences.
We really have, and I hope our listeners have found it helpful and inspiring. Remember, talking about your friends is such a practical and useful skill in English.
Absolutely, and it's a great way to share who you are and connect with others. Everyone has friends, so it's a topic that connects us all.
Exactly. So keep practicing, keep learning, and don't be afraid to share about your friends with others in English. And remember, when you're talking about yourself and a friend, always put your friend first. My friend and I, not me and my friend.
That's perfect advice and a great reminder. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us on Learning English Studio.
Yes, thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into talking about your friends in English. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our podcast if you found it helpful.
We'll be back next week with another useful topic for English learners. Until then, keep practicing and enjoy time with your friends.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.